Hello, everyone. With the weather so terrible outside, many of us are suffering through that. This gives me an opportunity to maybe cover some things that I've been asked about or I've relayed in comments or messages. But one is about how to perfect your micro prop. I've had a conversation with Zong of HQ about making a prop, and you might remember this prop, the Afunta. I think this came on a Hubson quad, and if you can tell, this has a void down here. And there's two parts to this, what we're going to talk about today. Hopefully you can see that, how my drill bit goes in there just a bit. Is one, oftentimes when you get a prop, it doesn't go all the way down. And that means it creates a leverage point where even in a whooped or prop protection, we take an impact here, it shifts that impact to the motor stem, and then we end up with a motor stem that might wobble or vibrate, which can throw our pid tune off or create fuzziness in the camera. Well, one way to get around that is to get the prop as far down as we can. That decreases the leverage point, and it also helps secure the prop against the C-clip at the very least, or if you can drill it out just a little bit more, get it all the way down to the hub. So my Mobula 7 or Mobilite 7 HQ props finally came in, so I've got one on here. And as you can see, they ride kind of high. Now, if you take a look at my Mobilite 7 now, I've got them down there pretty good. Now, I didn't completely drill them out. If you're wondering about the canopy, this is a creation of Angry Don FPV. I'll link that down below if you want to print it. You can, this is pretty extreme camera angle. The camera's nice and low, so even at that angle, you do see some of the hoops. You can take the stock camera holder and kind of do something similar with it. This does put some stress on that front post, so I secured some glue. So you can do that. I know that question's going to come up. But this is about the props, and these props are going to stay much more in place. And as you could probably tell, there's a little bit of the motor stem even sticking out over the top of the prop. So how do we do that? Well, I've got this. This came from tinyhoop.com. It's a 0.95 millimeter drill bit. Now, Tinyhoop has been out of these for a while, so you'll just have to look across the internet for drill bits. I have found them on Amazon. I've also found them on Walmart and Home Depot. They don't quite look like this, but they still report on their websites that they do have 0.95 millimeter drill bits. So that's the first part, is you want to drill your prop out a little bit. And something I want to kind of show you here. Let's see if I can get that in there a little bit. So even at 0.95, it's still a little bit loose. So you want that a little bit so you can get the prop on. And that's something else I've been asked about a lot, is how do you get the props off? And prop remover tools are, I just don't use them. So how do I get the props off? I hold the bell. Of course, when it's inside the quad, hold the bell through here as much as you can. Then you grab the prop, usually by the blades on the outer edge. And then you hold the bell and you grab the prop and you twist and pull apart, twist and pull apart, twist and pull apart, and eventually it comes away. So then you take your drill bit and you drill this all the way through. You want to try to do this, there we go, without as much pressure as possible, because we're not wanting to take any of the material away that's already drilled out. We're just wanting to get that end piece out. And this can loosen up your prop, so if you do this and you get a little bit off or something like that, you may find at high throttle or you're even low throttle that the prop just all of a sudden flies off. So it may vary as far as your success rate goes. So now with this prop, we could get it all the way down and we could get that out. I know that already. I'm not going to stick it on there. But you can see there we've got that C-clip on top. And if we take our calipers, those on, and we measure that C-clip, we get 3 millimeters. So that's the size of screw or drill bit that we want to use, take out, and make that hub like we have here in this Afunta prop. This prop is larger than 40 millimeters. That's why you can't use it. So you want to create that same void. I've already done it to this one. You can see here I've drilled out that, and I've used this DeWalt drill bit here that I just happen to have. This is 1/8 inch in standard terms, or American, non-metric. And so you just kind of twist it, and you don't need to take much out, because all we're wanting to do is get that top little part of the C-clip to where we can get this prop all the way down. So now when I put the prop on, goes all the way down. It goes around that C-clip and all the way down to the bell. So we even have more of the stem sticking out, but when we hit here, we have more support at the lower part of the hub, and we also have the whole shaft down further, so the leverage point on the motor stem has less probability that it will bend. Now, some people have had success bending these back. I have not. I have broken quite a few shafts trying to get them bent back. So you may have success doing that if you don't want to take this on, but I wanted to bring you this little quick tip, and hopefully it helps you maybe save a few motor shafts in the process. So looking online here, unfortunately, if we could buy the Tiny Whoop one, we'd only pay about $5 for it. I'm seeing the price at over $9 on several of those websites I referenced earlier in the video. You could probably walk into your local hardware shop and look for a 1/8 for drilling out the hub, or they might even have a 0.95 millimeter available off the shelf. You can just grab it, or if you're like me, there's links down in the video description. You can just click and buy that way as well. Hopefully it saves you more dollars in motors than it costs for the drill bit. Of course, you need to have a steady hand. Try to go straight through. Don't take away more material than you need. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, or otherwise, please let me know in the section down below. I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.